Hello and welcome to the A&M Network. My name is Andrew. This is Michael. And we're going to talk about the Timberwolves.
Rough.
Where do we start? I mean,
Rough.
honestly, we can't predict it. It's all going to end right now. Jimmy Butler has made this team lose everything that they had. Now, they had a lot of promise with obviously having, two great players.
I didn't even have them in the West before Jimmy cracked it.
I don't think I did either.
I think that's who we took out, them in Portland.
Yeah.
For Denver and LA.
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, they're going to struggle without Jimmy Butler. They were not a good team last year without Jimmy Butler. Unless we see Cat go another level. Now, he is the type of player who has the ability to be MVP level one day. Yeah. One day, I'm not going to say now, but one day he has MVP level in him. If he and Wiggins can prove their contracts to be right, I think you can see them being still a team that gets into that bottom half of the playoffs. But with Jimmy leaving right now, I honestly think, especially because it hasn't had a trade and we're 2 days from the start of the season, there's no trade yet. I think we're probably going to be seeing a very disjointed Timberwolves team to start the season. And
I'm very
it's not looking good.
Harsh on Minnesota and their moves. I think Wiggins is not worth the money that they paid at all. Not even close. I think he's a little bit soft. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in the big moments, and that's really tough to give a player that hasn't played a playoff game yet.
Oh no, he played last year. They played last year.
Oh yeah, they got swept though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting how good his year is. Is he going to live up to that contract? My money's on. I don't see him getting much better than what he was last year.
Well, he hasn't improved since his rookie season.
Yeah, and then you've got Cat. Cat can improve. I think he needs to get a little bit more dog in him. I think he needs to go a little bit harder, and not be so passive, and maybe get to the basket a little bit more. I think he's got to learn to take over a game just that little bit more. But
which in a way, I think Jimmy Butler leaving is almost a better thing for him.
That's going to be better
to
for Cat
actually push him to be the star.
Whether or not it's going to turn into wins,
if he does,
I can't see it.
And I think at the end of the day, if when Jimmy leaves, it's how these guys respond to that is going to be what this season is for the Timberwolves. It's been a long time since they were in the playoffs. It was 15 years. They finally got back, or 16 years. They finally got back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now they need to prove themselves, and these young guys need to prove themselves and go, you know what, we can still be a playoff team every year.
If you're a Timberwolves fan, that's what you want to see.
I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to be, again, disjointed. They're going to take some time. I think Jimmy needs to be moved ASAP. If they get some good pieces from whatever team they get traded to, hopefully they do. And maybe they'll get those couple of extra things just to push them. I'm not a huge fan of Tom Thibodeau. I don't think he's a good coach.
Yeah, no. He played a 7-man rotation. Pretty much all. What are you doing, man? It was so bad. But I didn't watch enough games, so I can only speak on that from what I saw. But every time I saw it, I just thought these guys are getting drilled into the ground. Mm-hmm. It's just not great for them, and I think they ran out of puff in the postseason a little bit. But what I will be interested in is Derrick Rose.
I was about to say that. I was actually literally about to bring that up. Derrick Rose, to me, is he's looking healthy. But he hopefully can have a good season.
I think he's going to start on the bench. Because you've got
Jeff Teague.
So I think Tibbs they paid Teague. So, that's
we'll see.
interesting
Derrick
too.
Rose, he's still passionate about basketball. So even with all the bad things, he really should be.
He just wants to hoop.
He wants to be out there and play. And I think that, to me, is a player who can play well. And he can be productive. And that's all we can hope for from a Derrick Rose at this point.
Are they trying to get Goran Dragic from the Heat? Why would they do that if they've got Teague and Rose?
I have no idea. I don't know what their trade offer was.
I think it had Josh Richardson and all
that it had at least one.
Wanted more.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're reading reports. They wanted all their firstborns.
I think, Miami were close. If Miami got Butler, man.
It depends on the trade, but it does change a lot. I think the Butler trade will change a lot in terms of the NBA.
Where do you think he will fit the best? If he can go somewhere.
If he can go anywhere?
What do you think is the most realistic?
Realistically...
I haven't really heard much more other than the Heat.
Well, it's the Clippers as well. I think the Clippers is a great situation for him to go into.
Yep, no doubt. I think the Clippers, like we were saying before, they have a lot of players at that age that are ready to win now.
And they got some players got some players they can bring back. I mean, Tobias Harris
but Tobias wanted Tobias part of the deal. I'm pretty sure.
What I'm saying, but Tobias Harris going back to Timberwolves would be a great way. So we could see some good trades there. There is a possibility,
but that won't make.
I don't. No.
Tobias going another way. It's only if Tobias stays at the Clippers.
We'll see what happens with the Timberwolves and what happens with Jimmy Butler. But they could end up being better off with the trade. They could end up being worse with the trade. I have my money's on the worst. Yeah. So let us know if you think they're going to make the playoffs. We've both got them out of the playoff race at the moment. Maybe sneaking in if they have an alright season if the young guys step up. But let us know where you think they're going to go. But until then, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.